3 Blue 1 Brown posts a video once a month. I really resonate with that. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we explore nothing and we know everything. So in today's video, we will be talking about the things that I learned this week. This is going to be a continuous video series where I share the things that I learned because I like learning things. I swear you not, I just love knowing things. The amount of serotonin that is I don't know, there's a word for this, but then the amount of serotonin that enters my entire system every time I remember something new, it's like, oh, bro, you know that ahagao face? Yeah, that's the same vibe. In any case, in this week we will be talking about, I will be updating you on the things that I learned these past 2 years that I have been gone. I learned a bunch of things and I will not be able to cover them all in one video. But I will not be making 2 videos, I will just be making 1 video every week because I am lazy and very busy. I, in fact, am in between 6,000 different projects, just 6 different projects, and I am going crazy. Yay. First things first, I learned about Turing Machines. You see that cool thing that we have in the back there? Yes, that is in fact a Turing machine. Now, what a Turing machine is, it's a mathematical description of a computer, but in the coolest way possible. Basically, a Turing machine is an abstract mathematical description of computation. It is made up of 3 parts: the head, the one-sided infinite tape, and the state machine. These different components can be put together in a way that can describe the limits of computation and what we can do and not do with computers, right? The version of computers that we have right now are called von Neumann machines, but that is a topic for another day. As you can see in the GIFs, the Turing machines describe very well the processing of information. Basically, we have the head that reads the current character or the current letter that is that needs to be processed, and then the state machine describes how it should be processed. Either it moves the tape to the left, or it doesn't move the tape at all, or something like that. The Turing machine basically takes inputs and then gives us an output. Now, in order to read the output, or in order to be able to understand how the processing works, you will need to have a formal understanding of theoretical computer science. But that is the basics of what a Turing machine is. So I did a course on data science from Hyperion Dev, right? And I will plug them in. The links are in the description below. Like, they're really good school. I learned a lot of cool things there. I learned data science, right? I've never known Python more than I do know Python now. I am in fact the best Pythonista in the world. Fight me. Everyone and their mother, fight me. Not your fathers, because you know what the people do with other people's fathers. I learned a lot of things from that Python course. I learned about how to structure programs well. Obviously, I already knew how to use object-oriented programming and agile programming, but I was able to practice those. I even have a GitHub that is going to be linked in the description below that will just like show you all of the work that I did from Hyperion Dev. I only have a few projects that are exploratory data analyses and 1 neural network that I worked on. I now actually functionally know Matplotlib, SciPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and a bunch of other Python frameworks that I've worked with. to like get the certificate, right? And it actually did help me get a job at where I work right now, because it what's this word? It made what I know when it comes to programming like real, right? And this is not a path that I recommend everybody do. That's just something that I did for myself. So, as many of you know, I am actually a computer science student from UNISA, and I am in my last year this year studying at UNISA, right? But I am in fact impatient, so I've been looking for a job for a while. I've always wanted to have that dev money, even though I don't. Even though I suck at handling money, I've always wanted that dev money because it's nice. Not even gonna lie, money is nice, even though it's not my thing. Like, it's not something that I go for, it's not something that I'm working towards. Money is nice. So I did this course for around 3 months. The first month was the basics, which was Python, which I already knew very well, so I was like cruising through that. And then the second module was exploratory data, right? We were given some data sets and we learned how to explore them, how to clean them. I even made like a really cool small gist that is able to take a data set from a panda frame. I think that's what it's called, a panda frame, and it's able to like get the percentages of how much data is missing, and if the specific set of data that you are working with is good enough to be explored. Because when there's too much missing data, especially at a specific percentage, the data cannot be analyzed well unless you need only those specific parts of that data. Like let's say you have a bunch of data and like only a specific, like only specific rows have data and then the rest are not available. That would mean that those specific data are special in some way. Maybe the people that were capturing the data were trying to specify those differences to the data. Maybe that those data that actually have those what's this, like filled out fields actually describe something that would be useful to your exploratory data analysis. So I do know how to do that. I do know how to I even got a job interview where I was tasked to do an exploratory data analysis, and I really enjoyed, like, I interviewed for that job. I did the exploratory data analysis, and fun fact, I should actually make a video of all of the places I interviewed. Not all of the places that I interviewed, but the process that I went through when I was interviewing. And like, it was very fun because I was this close, I think this close to getting a job in Cape Town. And I think that's funny because I was like, oh, I was so excited to get that job in Cape Town. But alas, I was in fact rejected. Such is life. You get rejected like 1,000 times. You only have that one company that gives like you a chance, and you feel like the best human being in the world. In any case, yes, I learned a lot. And the third level was us doing some, what's this? What is it called? Machine learning. Now, machine learning is a buzzword that a lot of people use to just describe really fancy statistics. That's what machine learning is. It's really, really fancy statistics that we give a computer some data that we have polished and fine-tuned and made to look in a specific way that the computer can take, and then it'll do some fancy statistics, and then it'll give us an output that we can measure and make sure to figure out how to make future guesses, right? It's basically us figuring out a way to fine-tune a formula that will update itself so that it can make predictions for the specific data set. But you have to make sure that there are things that you do and don't do, and it's a huge thing. It's Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Like the field of data science is exciting. I could talk about it all night, and I know basically nothing. Like me, I've learned some things, but I know basically nothing. You should talk to, well, there's this guy on Twitter named Mabu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name properly, and he's like a data science. He's like the data science guy here in South Africa. If you like have a conversation with him, he will describe to you in fine detail what data science is and how you can do data science things and machine learning and all of the beautiful things. I am in fact just an infant. In any case, I also learned about neural networks, which is a field that I'm very interested in. So basically, a neural network is our description or humans' description of a brain, right? We basically took the idea of having a system feed data into a black box, right? And then that black box updates itself using some really specific calculus. It does some predictions. It does really cool things, right? It's a black box. We do not know what happens in there. It updates itself. It reads, it writes, and then gives us an output that we can use, which is so freaking amazing. Like YouTube is filled with a bunch of videos of people using neural networks, but all it is just fancy statistics, fancy calculus, and a bit of linear algebra. It is very cool. Oh my gosh, I think my most favorite part of the neural networks studies was the fact that we were using some calculus and linear algebra to calculate the different things. 3 Blue 1 Brown, I will actually link it in the description below, has this video series that describes neural networks so wow. I do not give neural networks justice. I'm just giving you a small rundown based on things that I did not prepare from my brain. Everything that you are hearing me say is literally things I did not prepare that I just remember from the top of my head. If I did prepare, I probably could give it more justice, but I am a terrible human being. So this will be my content. You're welcome. In any case, that's a bunch of the things. So I got a certificate that you'll see here probably. I don't know. I got a certificate and they helped me a lot. Hyperion Dev. They helped me a lot with learning how to interview, how to prepare for interviews, giving me mock interviews, even though I was already getting some of that help from my mother, who is in fact like really good at helping people get interviews and help them get jobs. I got some of that practice and it was really fun. I also read the coding book. It's a green book. I'll link it. I'll put it somewhere. And then it's a really great coding interview book. You read it and then you look at the questions. You look at the questions and you try to answer the questions, and then you get the answers at some point in the book as well. It is really helpful when it comes to answering coding-based questions because, as we all know, developers have the hardest interviews, right? Our interviews are harder than our job, which is hilarious because it's like there's a joke where this guy is like in the interview, so please invert a binary tree. And then the other guy is like, sure, whatever. And then like a few months later when they already got the job, obviously, this guy's like, please center a div. I'm lying. Centering a div is more difficult than anything else. CSS, guys. CSS is the most terrible thing in the world. I hate CSS. That will be another video in and of itself. Dude, tech content just comes. It just comes. And I'm not really into tech like that. My favorite subject is mathematics, which is basically the theoretical computer science, combinatorics, and things like that. That is what I'm into. That's my kink. But no, dev content is so much easier than mathematics content. So those are the things that I learned in these past few years. I mean, there are more things that I learned, but I've been speaking for 40 minutes now, and I still haven't gotten into the content that is what I've learned this week. So we are gonna forgo the other things that I learned for now. You'll just have to keep up and see oh dude, that's a new skill that he got, and then yeah. But yeah, I learned a lot. I have improved a lot in my craft and with the things that I do. Another thing I learned to do in this past year, another thing that I learned to do in this past year is to read dissertation papers. Well, not dissertation papers, just papers, like scientific papers. I'm going to link the website that I love to read from, and another website called Quant Magazine that I love to read from that just gives rundown on like specific research fields, right? But then like this website that I go to, Archive. And I'm sure that the scientific community will correct me on other like places to read papers, but Archive is a really good place to start when you want to start reading dissertation papers. I like reading papers on basically cosmology and combinatorics right now, and all of the data science. So not data science, all of the computer science. So automata theory, data science, machine learning, neural networks, numerical analysis. I like reading those kind of papers, and it's really fun. I will talk about a few of the papers that I've read before and what their implications are when it comes to the science community. I do love mathematics, science, and computer science, but there's not enough time in the day to explore all of the things that I want, because my God, there's so many cool things. There's so many cool things to explore. There's so many cool things. Like, okay, let us just accept that there exists just like let us forego all of the subjects that I already spoke about, like physics and mathematics and computer science themselves, right? And then I'm really into electrical engineering, which is really cool, which is something that I started liking because of Michael Reeves, Mark Rober, and staff mates here, right? Like, they made it very interesting to work with the electronic side of things, like building physical manifestations of the software that I think of. That's really sick. Like, imagine creating a centralized lock system, right? That is that runs on your own system, even though it is hackable, obviously. And then there's another thing, hacking. Hacking is so cool. Okay, I think this is gonna be the last part of the video, where I just explore all of the things that I like to talk about. Like, it's very interesting. And then there's mechanical engineering. Do you guys know how cool cars are? Do you know how cool cars are? Like the engineering of cars. Yo, there's this guy named Rich Build. He, like, how do I put this? He fixed a old rundown Tesla, and then he put a new engine on it. He put a V8 Camaro SS engine into a Tesla. Do you know how cool that is? He made the first like V8 Tesla, and this is something that a friend of mine just showed me very recently. Like, that is very cool. So I want to explore those things sometimes, and it's just like, it's too much, man. It's too much. That is the video of the week. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for those who subscribed and those who liked. Please continue to smash the like button. I do not know why I said that so naturally, but please smash that like button and please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your neighbors to subscribe. Tell your dog. Your dog must subscribe. Make a YouTube channel for your dog so that they can subscribe to my YouTube channel. They are welcome. You are welcome. Everybody in your family is welcome. Have a lovely day. And never forget, I know exactly nothing.